Welcome once again to Political Headache. Today, it's a very different kind of episode, not like the normal one where we do a lot of talking and criticizing and analyzing. Of course, we try to understand or enlighten the conscience of the nation, but today is a different day. It's a day like no other, where we learned this morning of the passing of the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And of course, I'm joined on set uh, by Joakim. Joakim is the Secretary General of the Safina Party. And Joakim is one of the people who was one of the best, if not toughest supporters of Raila Odinga in the run-up to 2022 elections. Soon afterwards, of course, politics took a different path, but we believe that our humanity remained shared. Uh, as much as we grew different, myself included, in political ideologies, but we stand in what unites us, and that is the humanity. So, first of all, before I give you a chance to say something, let me send my personal condolences to my former boss, Mama Ida Odinga, and the whole family. I am one of those people who have been very, very lucky to share in the shadows of Raila Odinga for about a period of 5 years. And even when I was starting to do or to run Ida Odinga Trust, when I was just establishing it, whenever we would even come up with drawings of the vehicles that we're going to use, the brandings, the ideas, we would discuss it with him together with Mama Ida, just the three of us in his sitting room every morning. And I can remember one of the most profound things that he told us because we were campaigning against teenage pregnancies. He told us that is how to protect the future. If nobody speaks, the children are going to get lost. It could have been something very light, but coming from him, thinking about the girls back then, made me think that Raila actually was not only representing politics, but also the future of very many people. And being around him was very graceful, Joakim. It was like you stepped into the halo of an enigma. You stepped into the halo of a religious or holy presence, basically. And in Luo, we say pin onindobedo, which means guys are not sleeping tonight and until the time that Raila's body is interred. Joakim,
Um,
welcome on this very sad Black Wednesday.
for the past 1 year, I think, in most of my public appearances and my political commentary, I've been very critical of one man, Raila Odinga. I've criticized him on a number of issues. But I think today is not a day, is not one of those days. It's a day that we come here to mourn the loss of a statesman. Just like any other human being, Raila Odinga um, has been with an appearance that transcended everywhere. His engagement in politics has shaped the country as we know it today. The freedoms that we enjoy, uh, even without his sacrifice, I wouldn't be Secretary General today because there would only be one party.
Mm-hmm.
So he has had his contribution to the gains of the country. And today, when we I stopped supporting him after joining President Ruto, I thought that even the news, I thought everything about him will be an issue to me.
Yeah.
Until today morning when I woke up and I read that post, I tried to contain it, but I couldn't. This is a man that made me shed tears after he lost an election in 2022. So you can imagine the emotions after hearing that he's gone. And you look back at the public engagements he's appeared in, the way he moves crowds, the way he speaks, and you come to think of it and know that you will never see such a thing again. And one wise man said that goodbyes make us think. Goodbyes make us realize what we have lost, and what we've taken for granted. I am sure it has clicked to so many people of the position that the Right Honorable Raila Odinga has been filling. And that's a position that could be void for some time before it gets a rightful uh, person to take over.
You know, when you talk about 2022 elections, it will be a lie if I say that I hadn't imagined. I'm an overthinker, and perhaps this is an absurd thing to say. There are three people who I thought about their funeral deeply, or their passing deeply, because of the weight that they hold in my life. And one of them, of course, was Raila Odinga. The second one was my grandmother, and the third one is my dad, who is still alive. I've always tried to imagine how will it be beyond them. My grandma passed last year at 106, and now Raila has gone at 80. Because I was looking at Raila as the denominator of Kenyan politics, right from when he joined his dad in the quest for multi-party democracy, but also just political freedoms, what we call the second liberation. One thing that remains clear to me, is where Raila leaves Kenya at this position. Around 2-3 episodes ago, I discussed with Jagero on the set that we must start thinking beyond Raila. I didn't think it would be this quick. And the reason as to why I was sharing with him that we must start thinking beyond Raila in the governance structure of the country was because of the unofficial yet very critical role that Raila plays in stabilizing governments.
Yes.
And I was telling Jagero that we need to perhaps rethink the parliamentary system, because Kenya is a very fragile marriage that could be up for divorce any moment. And that is clearer. And today, when I was leaving the barber shop where I went to do my hair, I remember my friend calling me. Of course, he works in Raila's house, and told me that Joakim is no more. For a moment, I froze, because it's not this day. Just the other day, I also called out Dennis Onyango on his miscommunication on Raila's illness. I believe it was carelessly handled from a communication standpoint. All these things compounded makes me look at the gap, not only in terms of the succession, but the stability of the country. Because this unofficial yet critical role that is played must be filled, of course, and must not be filled by an individual, but must be filled by a law, because Raila was extra-constitutional. He was operating beyond the constitution, because he's the only man who would call for a holiday out of the thin air, and we will have a holiday. And I don't know what you think about you now being in the active, the sanctum of politics currently. I don't know what you think, or what you guys are looking at in terms of this gap that Raila leaves, which does not call for an inheritor, but calls for a shift in our constitutional structure.
I think it's a symbolic. The demise of Baba is symbolic in so many ways, that we now have to rethink our approach to issues. That there are ways we've been using to approach issues for over time, and it's about time we now look at life and politics and governance and constitution from another point of view. And that's why, as you say, the position that Baba has been filling, it now has to be filled by issues pertinent to the Kenyan people. And as I've just said, he's a person who has devoted his life to social justice and the democracy of the country. And that's where we are graduating from. That from where you have left, we now move forward with a fight for a better country, where Kenyans now can be in a position to say that they are proud to be Kenyans, where now everyone has the ability to actually afford life the way it is and bring another. When we started the independence, we were fighting a Mzungu, and we got our independence. We have not had a cultural revolution because we do not have a cultural problem. It got to a point where we needed a political revolution, second liberation, to get all this multipartyism. But now, just at the advent of now the third liberation, Baba leaves us. And there's also maybe an opportunity for people to learn how to walk by themselves. The Baba is like an eagle that has left its younglings. They will have to fly, to learn to fly on the cliff. And as the country, we are on a cliff right now. It's Baba that had helped in putting together the nuts that have been holding President Ruto's government. Without him, there is not that center of power. And I do not think that we are going to proceed normally. There are going to be a lot of shifts.
This is probably painting at a complete 180 degrees turn, and we don't know where we are going.
Yes.
Basically, because nobody has the blueprint of what is going to happen.
Now, for me, I think the positioning I have taken, and together with the party that I'm in, it was kinda of telepathy. It's like God was positioning you in a way where you can be useful tomorrow.
Right.
That in this whole confusion and people now realizing there is more to life, you find yourself in a position where you've been consistently speaking of that need. And the direction we need to take, and this is what we have sung for, we have been singing,
Right.
is that the direction of making sure that our country gets economically on the right track.
The shock that is perhaps coming in right now is the revelation that Raila left a will.
Yes.
That dictates that he should be buried within 72 hours.
Yes.
If we start counting from the time the president announced, or if we start counting from the time he passed on, 9:41, 9:52 Indian time, just a quick calculation so that we see what 72 hours means. What does that mean for you? What does that show, or what does it say about him?
Even in death, he remains Raila Odinga, that you can never anticipate his next move. I didn't imagine that we are going to have, Nyanza and Western, there is a way we treat statesmen like that. There is that period where you expect to mourn a person of such a stature.
Yeah.
But now that he left a will of 72 hours, it confounds everyone. Both supporters, I know those who are supporters who didn't know of that, and the opposers. And to me, as far as I would like to argue, it's his will. It has to be respected. Yeah. So that speaks to him, his character, all this time. He always confounds both critics and supporters. So he's a man who also was very much aware of his situation, and he is maybe his health also. That's why he's always been planning ahead. So once you know your body, there are things you used to do, but now you're straining to do the very basic things. It signals to you that you'll not be around for long.
I remember earlier this. Just before I say that, 72 hours leaves us at Saturday 10 a.m. If we go by the time that, if we go by the nearest favorable time from when he passed, then tomorrow 10 a.m. leaves at 24. Friday leaves at 48. Then Saturday leaves at 72, 10 a.m. So that implies that then we have typically one day, which is tomorrow. That is Thursday, which means if he's flying in back, if the body is being flown in back tomorrow, most probably
it has to be today.
It has to be today.
Yes.
So that means how long does it take from here to India?
India, 5 hours. A flight of 5 hours.
It's a flight of 5 hours.
Yes.
Is that so?
Yes.
India to, of course, I trust what you're saying. I'm just confirming. India to Nairobi flight hours. Let's just check on that very fast. So yeah, that comes to, it indicates here that it's about 7 to 8 hours.
Yes.
That's a direct flight. So already Mama Ida has just left with the delegation of Musala Mudavadi, etc. That they're landing in India at about, they've gone on a private jet. They will be landing in India at about, now is 3, so let's just say 4. So they'll be landing in India at about 10. And some few hours, then they take, so that means tomorrow. The body has to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
The body has to be in Kenya tomorrow, and then it is taken straight. Of course, they'll be viewing in Nairobi. I believe it is going to be difficult. Somebody like Raila, his stature is too big to just bring him in and rush things. But unfortunately, it has to be military precision because it's a state funeral.
And again, a person with the stature of Raila Odinga, they don't go alone. They take some people with them.
Tell me about that.
There will be a stampede when his body lands here. And some people will die in that stampede. You remember Malo Kijana's burial?
We don't wish that to happen.
I have just come
Yeah.
from Raila Odinga's home now.
Okay.
Like an hour ago. Already an ambulance has taken 3 people. One who are in critical conditions. Maybe you've fallen from a speeding Prado. You were jumping on a vehicle. You see? Such things. So it is not usually a planned thing.
Yeah.
But the rush around them, the crowd. You can imagine his body is not there. There is no one important in that home as we speak. Just his living room. And people are full like that. I'm from there. I nearly lost my phones. If it is not going to be managed properly, and there is no managing properly, and most especially if they are going to try and stop people from viewing the body, now that will be very chaotic.
That means, are you looking at when his body comes?
Yes.
Are you looking at us having a public viewing in Nairobi?
It has to.
Where would it probably be? In Kasarani, or will it be at Ulinzi Stadium? Because this has to happen tomorrow. If this 72 hours thing is going to be abided by,
they have to take it to Kasarani. It's a big area.
This is strength in death.
Yes. Maybe take him to Parliament. He's not died in office. You can't take him to Parliament. Kasarani.
But when President Kibaki died, I saw his body taken back to State House and Parliament.
Yeah, he was taken to Parliament.
So, right?
Yes.
That's called lying in state.
Yes.
So Raila would not lie in state because he's a former premier.
A former head of government.
Sort of.
Yes.
Co-principal.
Yeah. He could be taken to Parliament.
It could be. Whatever the case is, it's going to be.
Parliament will be okay because you can now control people.
Yes.
You can control those who are coming in, those who are
going out.
Yes. But I can tell you, if they don't handle it properly, we are going to get
My
casualties.
biggest issue is that Oburu Odinga and Mama Ida are on the plane right now to India. They have to come back, and immediately there's no sleep for them in the next 72 hours.
There is
Typically,
no sleep.
there's no
Even
sleep.
if you give them time to sleep,
They won't.
they will not. Look at Raila Odinga. If I am feeling it, this is a man I've never met. I've not mentioned it here.
You've never met him physically?
I have never met Raila hivi.
Really?
No. I just believed in what he was saying. And I was campaigning from the sidelines, but I really, really did what I was. Because he's a man.
Yeah, you believed in the ideology that
Yes.
he had.
Today, I just wished I had a photo with him to post. I don't have it.
And like you had the honor of being with him.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that feeling is something you'll never forget. Anybody who has, in fact, let me tell you, anybody who has interacted with Raila Odinga will either go into leadership or something, just by meeting him. Leave alone anything else, not even nothing, just meeting Raila Odinga. Just that access to him would make you want to contest, would make you want to continue being there and continuing whatever he was birthing. One of the things that will stick for a long time, and historians will write about this, is the political culture of Raila Odinga, especially post-elections. And this political culture of stability, the desire of stability, was like Raila was an oxymoron. He was a contrast in study, where on one side he was this fellow who was advancing the interest of the people towards the state. But again, once the state is established, he then moved very fast to stabilize the state so that for the benefit of the people. That's something I was interested in from the time that I saw him in 2018, taking that shift. Because I joined his family in 2019, just after the handshake. And I wanted to really study this. And now we have the chance, as now scholars, to now go deep and study what this meant. And is it a model that can work for other countries in terms of stability? We've just seen Antananarivo in Madagascar just hours ago. The president had to flee because the opposition there was lackluster in terms of helping stabilize the state. And so, as we are speaking, President Andy Rejolina has fled to France. This bit of Raila Odinga, I don't know what you think about it.
I really sympathize with the president who will mismanage the country in the absence of Raila Odinga.
Do you think he will mismanage the country?
Yeah.
Or it will be, now he could be careful.
If you are a president today, you have to bear this in your mind, that the person who has been extending handshakes to presidents to calm the country is not there. And the people are feeling like now it's like the curtain has been ripped off and everyone now can access the podium. You mismanage the country now, you will have a very hard time. You can imagine the Gen Z protest without Raila Odinga. William Ruto wouldn't be president today. And so it calls upon the next leadership to be extra careful and do things that the people that do not ask the people to start asking questions.
Do we see Kalonzo Musyoka and your party leader joining to stabilize the state? Because obviously it is in the public knowledge that next year could be a repeat of 2024.
It is in the interest of everybody to have a stable country.
Yeah.
And therefore, instead of waiting for us to join into stabilizing the state, why don't we just do things that do not threaten the stability of the country?
And what are you looking at? Because it's a feeling, from what I could say, it's a feeling. Yeah, the Gen Zs are right to advance what they're advancing for. But again, is it factual?
Now,
have we crossed a particular place where we can say the president has listened? And
the president never listened.
Okay.
That's why we still have all these murmurs. It's only that the people have changed their modus operandi and they are not in the streets. They are demonstrating in other forms. And as I've said, before we get to a position where someone has to step in to stabilize the country, there has been actions that threatened the stability. And one of those actions is for people to feel like they are being listened to and their grievances are being
Handled.
That the president, the government is providing services that the people need. Without all this provision of services to the people, I don't think there will be stability at that time.
We look forward to what it's going to look like. Of course, we hope that the state will remain stable. I come from the school of thought that a bad government is better than no government. I know, of course, you sit on the other side of that belief. But the position that Honorable Raila Odinga has held, the inspiration, the many people is inspired, yourself included. I know even you being an SG today, of course you said it when you were starting, is because of the rights that he fought for. So that we can have this particular freedom of an expression where we can even sit here and discuss politics without the state poking their noses into our business. And I don't know what you'd say lastly as we finish, because we just wanted to do about 28 minutes to 30 minutes of this podcast. I don't know, what would you have to say to Mama Ida Odinga, to the family of Raila Odinga, and most probably to the people of Nyanza who are now, of course, left orphans politically?
There is a Luo statement I learned today.
Right.
And I want to try so much and remember. Agoyo mos jo Kenya.
Mosuru ahinya.
There is this other statement, Amok lal tinga.
Kumlal tinga.
Kumlal tinga.
Yeah.
Sasa, my statement will be this. I know this is a very difficult time.
Yeah.
But I want to pray that you get the strength to get through it all. It's a journey that every one of us will go through. And I pray that the family and the friends and the Kenyans in general may find strength in these trying times. It's a time like no other. As a stranger to Raila Odinga, the emotions are very high. I can only imagine those who have been around him. And therefore, it's my prayer that God comforts them. That's all I have to say.
This will be my open letter to the family of Raila Odinga, but also the people of Luo Nyanza. As the curtains fall on the dedicated career of Raila Odinga, since he's shown himself to the public, it's been nothing but spectacular presence. Raila has never been a performer in the sense of dramatic, being dramatic in his career and character. He has been one who has been truly present. He has been one who has taken unpopular decisions, of which required deeper understanding from the people in politics. I would want to, of course, once again convey my personal condolences to Mama Ida Odinga, my friend. I also want to convey my condolences to the family, Winnie Odinga, Junior, Rose, and all the grandchildren, to Chairman Oburu Odinga, and everybody in the family line of Honorable Raila Odinga. As one who has drunk from your well, I'm most saddened, and of course I feel the pain that you are going through. It is our loss, cumulatively as a country. And we stand with you in prayers at this trying moment, and we ask God to grant you the peace that is required. As we prepare to bury Joakim Raila Odinga, those memories of where he's brought us from are forever etched in our minds, and we're going to walk feeling empty because we've lost somebody who cannot be matched by any measure. Raila Odinga, Joakim, I say, is one who has done things that a generation of men could not do. And for that, we thank him so dearly, and we are forever indebted to the Odinga family for that selflessness that you offered us. The years he spent in prison, the years he spent for the struggle, the humiliations, financial humiliations, and also the family humiliation. We don't take it lightly. We thank you very much. Specifically, I would like to address our Luo brothers and sisters. It is unfortunate that this morning, as the news was coming through of the passing of Raila Odinga, a particular camp amongst this community where I also come from was celebrating. It's unfortunate. It's something shameful that should never have happened. When it's our culture that when we are in mourning of such a great son, we do not celebrate. Whatever the differences were, you don't celebrate. It is not in good light. It is not appreciated by anybody from either side. And in any case, one of the biggest lessons that Raila ever taught us is that Mama used to say it in Kijaluo, Mirima Elayo, which means you let the anger go. For my Luo brothers and sisters who Raila might have stepped on or hurt in a particular way, we don't quarrel with people who have left us. That's our culture. Whatever he did, good or bad, if you were offended in a particular way, I would want to ask you at this particular moment to kindly let it go. Let it go so that we can rejoice in the good that he has done. We cannot only celebrate, we cannot only count the bad things he has done. How about the good things he did for us? Let us sober up and in this period of mourning, let everything else come at its right time. For now, let us call Jakom Marwa Gikwe. Nyasaye okechunye kamukwe kabisa. May Jacom's soul rest in peace. This has been a special edition of The Political Headache, the life of Raila Odinga, but specifically, we were doing it because Joakim was around. The SG must be given a time to convey his condolences. Thank you so much, and till next episode, keep it here. Thank you.